Hey everyone, welcome back to Weeb Psycho TV. Sorry, it's been around 2 months since my last video post. It's been kinda hectic these past couple months with what's going on all over the world with the coronavirus. I hope all you guys are staying safe out there. Before I forget, thanks for all the support and recommendations I've been getting from the comment section. Keep them coming. I love your guys' suggestions and comments, and it really means a lot. I promise I'll get to all of your suggestions eventually, it's only a matter of time. I know I've been on hiatus, but don't worry, I haven't been wasting any time, trust me. I've been binge reading some great novels these past few months, and I plan on sharing what I've been reading in this video and future video. Before I tell you about this web novel I've been binge reading these past couple months, I want you to know this web novel has probably made it onto my top 3 web novels of all time. I stumbled on this web novel in the WebNovel app, and this web novel has connected deeply with me. When I first read the description, I was like, this may not be for me, because there was no physical development of the character, no growth in the shonen type of way, but boy was I wrong. Word of advice for everybody? Always take a chance and get away from your comfort zone and try something new. This web novel is a marvelous sci-fi saga. I may be a bit biased because I am an engineer and the MC is basically an engineer in his world, but trust me, all engineers or anyone who loves tech and mech should definitely read this web novel. It's crazy how much I enjoyed this web novel. I usually like web novels that are action-packed, basically a shonen but for web novels. This is basically a flip. It's more intellectual action, if you get what I'm saying. It has intellectual action with a mix of the adventure genre. In other words, the best sci-fi web novel of 2020. Alright, so let me finally tell you guys what I've been binge reading in 3, 2, 1. The Mech Touch by Xlor. This book is one of the best original novels from the author I've ever read. It currently has over 1900 chapters at the time of this recording and over 1700 plus reviews. It has no signs of slowing down anytime soon, and the story just keeps going and going. The story so far is 1900 chapters in, and it still just feels like the main character is just starting his adventure, which is great. I definitely have very high expectations on where this series is gonna go in the long run. This book is under the sci-fi and adventure category and currently has over 18 million views on WebNovel. On WebNovel, it has a rating of 4.6 out of 5. Should have been 5 out of 5, but that's only my opinion, what can I do? Let me give you a quick summary of the Mech Touch, at least as much as I can without spoiling anything for you guys, because I really want you guys to go ahead and read it as soon as you get a chance. Just like Nike's tagline, just do it. I promise you it'll be worth it, or your money back guaranteed. Just kidding, it's free to read, so just go read it. The story takes place in a distant future where humanity has made its way through space, conquering half the galaxy, taking planets and star sectors over from alien races. Through humanity's technological advancements, they were able to establish control over half the galaxy. Just a quick side note, I like to think Elon Musk and SpaceX were responsible for humanity's advancement in space travel, but who knows? So anyways, the story takes place hundreds of years after humanity's conquest, and it's at an age where human civilization revolves around mechs. The story starts with our main character, Vess Larkinson. Vess lacked the aptitude to interface with a mech, so he decided to become a mech designer, which is basically an engineer who designs and builds mechs for a living. Instead of expressing his love for mechs by piloting one himself, since he can't pilot one, he expresses it by building them instead. After Vess graduates from college, he returns to a newfound mech workshop that his father built with a mountain of debt under their name. But his father suddenly goes missing, leaving him with the bank asking for their money. As Vess gets desperate for money, he stumbles on something that'll bring hope to his despair. A legacy his father left him, which changes his fate forever. The legacy is a system if you haven't guessed already, but it's not your usual plot device used in other novels where the main character becomes OP and constantly used as the only way the main character advances. There are arcs in this story where the system isn't even used. The author Xlor doesn't use the system as a crutch to move the plot along, nor does the main character get heavily dependent on the system, which will impede his character development later throughout the story. That's all I got. If you want more, go read the web novel. It'll be the best web novel decision you make. As I said before, this book is over 1900 chapters long, and it took me about a month to read. Even though I practically read chapters at any chance I got. When I ate, I read. In the car, I read. When I slept, I read. I can't tell you how many times I've almost spent an all-nighter staying and reading this book. This book is addicting, I swear. Once you start, you can't look away. So make sure before you start, you get everything squared away in your life before you start reading. This book will consume you. It's that good. Also, I'd like to give you a pro tip when reading this book. At around chapter 500 to 750, you're gonna start to feel that the book is dragging on. But once you get through that, the rest of the chapters will be worth it. The story moves along pretty well and has a lot of plot that keeps the story moving at a good pace. Not too fast, not too slow. The fact that it keeps a moderate pace in the plot and the story moving along is one of the web novel's many strengths. I personally hope that the story never ends, and I feel like it's actually possible with all the possible ways this story can go. This web novel should be like the anime One Piece and just never end. Just between chapters 500 to 750, I felt the author X-Lore dragged what was going on a little too long. But that's okay, that was the only time I ever felt the story drag, and I think that X-Lore learned his lesson. The world building is top tier. The author slowly gets you sucked into the new world around the story without overwhelming the reader with info that you can't keep track of. Now that I look back at it, I shouldn't have called it world building. Given the context, it should be called galaxy building. Yeah, that sounds more accurate. Also, the amount of detail the author puts into his story is borderline perfect. It may be the fact that I'm a nerd and engineer that I appreciate details, but when the author includes a lot of detail in his work, I get more and more infatuated with the novel. If you ever watch this video, X-Lore, thanks for that, I appreciate it. You can tell the author did a lot of research and forethought writing this story. Character development is really good, the main character actually grows from his life and decisions he makes. Vess is definitely a multi-dimensional character and one you would like, but personally I wish he wasn't so stubborn sometimes, but that's just me. Also, it's not just the main character who has distinct characteristics. Side characters have distinct characteristics and dialogue that make you appreciate the author putting real effort in creating depth in each side character we come across in the story. This book deserves to be in its own tier. This web novel doesn't have as many cliches as the vast majority of web novels out there. It has an original idea and plot that pushes the story forward to newer and higher heights. If you want to give this book a trial read, I recommend reading until chapter 50 to 100. If you're not hooked, this novel isn't for you, and you should really reevaluate your taste. Nah, I'm kidding. If this novel isn't for you, it isn't for you. That's all we got for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with the Mech Touch being the best sci-fi web novel of 2020. Or if you have any suggestions of web novels you want me to review and talk about for the next video. Also, don't forget to leave a like and comment to let me know that you enjoyed this video and would like me to make more videos like this. Thank you for all the love and support. Till next time.